The black caiman, the most fearsome predator on the South American continent. It looks like the American alligator, but it grows to nearly 20 feet and can weigh almost a ton. It has 76 teeth, bites with a force of tons per square inch. And it eats people. But reptile hunter and scientist Mark O'Shea has come to Guyana to help save this river giant. The black caiman is a top predator, but it's in danger of being wiped out. In the last 100 years, humans have killed 99% of them. Mark is heading for a handful of besieged villages deep in this country's interior. People here are threatened by the awesome reptiles and hunt them for self-protection. Mark wants to stop the hunting by finding a way for humans and the caiman to coexist. But the black caiman causes sheer terror.
The black caiman is very, very aggressive.
I lost my son.
If you go in the river, it's just like a city. It's eyes upon eyes you see him.
They don't have no fear.
Something got to be done.
Part of Mark's plan is to make his first ever capture of an adult black caiman. They may look cute when they're young,
This little piggy stayed at home.
but the massive adults will be a different story.
The species is reputed to reach 20 foot, and a 12-foot animal would be an impressive beast, so a 20-foot would be just a submarine with legs. They have been the ultimate freshwater scavengers and predators for 170 odd million years. There are a number of cases of people being attacked and even eaten by black caiman. Bigger ones, of course. People talk about tonnage per square inch when they're talking about big crocodilians, the force with which the jaws shut. It's a predator weighing 400-500 pounds or more, which is way, way, way more than any human. So if it comes to a trial of strength in deep water, Caiman's going to win.
People here fish to live, their catches sorted and prepared on the riverbanks. But this sets up a fatal attraction.
There'll be a few black caiman on that sandbank tonight. All those guts, all that fish offal. It's going to be dining at the Ritz with a caiman there tonight.
The river is the lifeblood of communities like this one at Upakari. There's no other running water here, and children are in constant danger while playing or washing at the river's edge. The black caiman brought horror to this peaceful village. Donald Barnabas suffered a terrible tragedy.
Donald, I understand you lost one of your children to black caiman.
Yes. I lost my son by caiman. He grabbed the boy, found the boat into the water, and bite him up and killed him in the water.
Donald's son was just 10 when the caiman struck.
We want to get rid of them and to get rid of the big ones.
But understanding the caiman's behavior may be the best way to avoid such tragedies. A fishing net should attract them to the riverbank for Mark to study.
Main source of obtaining food is fish, and they're very expensive, aren't they?
Yes, they cost quite a lot.
So it's a bit of an investment, really, for somebody.
Oh yeah.
But if they can feed their family, then it's worthwhile. But looking at the damage, look at that. I mean, I could walk. Look, I could step through that myself. Look. I mean, you ain't going to catch many fish with a hole like that.
The net that Mark's put out might catch a few fish, but he's after bigger game.
We've got these nets set out. From the movements, you can see that they've caught some fish. And we're going to sit tight, sit quiet, and see if caiman actually move in and start attacking the nets to get the fish.
Mark aims to spot the caiman by a telltale red reflection shining from their eyes, but his searchlight is causing moth rush hour.
Oh, dear. Well, there's a caiman there, and I watched him come across and I got eye shine. And then it stopped. It's almost as if he'd shut his eyes. It may be that he's only got one eye, but I'm sure it was this side, the eye on this side, that I was getting eye shine off. and noosing them before they get away. But just trying to take them in the open water, it's not going to work. That's deep water out there, and that's a big caiman. He's come right up to the net. He knows there's fish in it, but he's not prepared to take the chance. He's a wise old bird, and you can't red-eye him. He's got his eyes shut, which tells me that this fellow knows the ropes. You can see his back up in the water now. He's a big fellow. They're a formidable adversary, and they're not going to be easy to catch.
The predator makes his escape, but there will be other chances for Mark. As Mark journeys deeper downriver, every village has its own menacing stories of the black caiman. Here in Masara, the village schoolchildren are now banned from swimming in the river.
In the 1960s, we could have been bathing in this river here. My father or our grandparents would never tell us nothing because there was nothing to trap us in underwater. Today, children want to do that, but we don't allow them.
Years gone by.
The black caiman casts its shadow over Lawrence Jeffries. 5 Christmases ago, his brother was killed, but the body was never found, and his family have no peace.
We said that he must come down and bathe in the evening, or maybe at night. He came down, and that's where the black caiman was, and attacked him. 4 days we were searching for this man, but we didn't find him. Like this Christmas coming, we have celebrated, but it looks like he is alive with us because we haven't put him in the grave. And sometimes we feel sorry. Sometimes the families will come together and have a sad time. Memory. Yeah.
The awful reality of these attacks puts Mark's deeply held principles to the test.
Up until now, I've really had to sort of hold back and restrain my enthusiasm for Caiman. I can hardly walk into a village which has lost people, and at the very least lost valuable dogs and nets to Caiman, and say, the black caiman is a wonderful creature, you must conserve it. I've generally taken the side of endangered species, and this of course is an endangered species throughout much of its range. But I can't help sympathising with people who are living under the continual threat that when their son or daughter goes out to play, they might not come back.
Conservation efforts are also hampered by the fact that much is still to be learned about the black caiman's behavior. They have excellent sight and hearing, and they're good at keeping away from prying eyes. Mark manages to get pretty close.
Shallow. Is there only one for deep? Oh, it is, yeah.
But the reptiles are just too quick and too strong, even when Mark does get his hands on them. These fully grown adults are giving Mark big problems.
He's gone under.
That was the cross one.
He was cross. I came up and I got the noose over his upper jaw, but not much over his upper jaw. But he just backed out of it. I mean, they are very, very good at avoiding this noose. They're very good at avoiding being captured.
Mark's respect for the adult caiman's strength is about to be justified.
Quick! Take me in, take me in, take me in, take me in! Nice big one. Look at that. God, he's on! Hold the boat! He's on, he's on, he's on, he's on! I've got him! I'm just gonna tire him out. nothing stopping him biting at the moment, you see. He is a big, big fellow.
The caiman's furious struggle builds up lactic acid in its muscles, forcing it to rest. Like most reptiles, it can only use up its energy in short bursts. Mark takes his chance to tie it to the boat. This creature is huge, over 10 feet long and 3 times Mark's weight. Mark wants to examine it well away from the deep water, where the black caiman is in its element.
We head for a sandbank then.
They head for a safe spot on dry land. Right now, Mark's main concern is that the caiman isn't stressed.
Get it out, get it measured, get it filmed, and get it released. I'm getting stimulated to it, like tapping it on the eye. And it closes its eye. As you can see, it's still interested in me. It's a powerful set of jaws. It'll make an awful mess of you if it manages to clamp them on. Okay, you've got him firm there. Somebody come and take this line off me.
It's Mark's first capture of an adult black caiman, and he has to be careful.
All right, tape. Black tape.
Tape is wound painlessly around the jaws to prevent a bite. Mark will remove it before the caiman is released.
It was a fight. I didn't realise quite how big it was when I got the noose around it. And when I was hanging onto the line, I was like an angler fighting a marlin. Something very interesting here. Look at this raised crest all the way down the back. Now, I didn't know they'd got that. You don't see this in a lot of other crocodilians. It's built for secretive killing. It can hang in the water and expose just its nostrils, its eyes, its ears, very little else. Just hangs there and waits for something to come down to the water. And it will grab it with its powerful jaws, the crushing power of which is phenomenal. It can do so much damage. Even if it hasn't got teeth, the jaws will shut with such force, the tissue is going to be destroyed. But you can see that it's easy to hold the jaws shut because the muscles that open the jaws are very weak, whereas the muscles that close the jaws are phenomenally powerful. And the jaws go right the way back to here. There is the back of the jaw. That is going to do a lot of damage if it gets hold of you. We've been watching these swimming recently, and they are crossing creeks faster, way faster than any man could swim. You wouldn't outswim one of these. There you go, fella. Nothing more than injured pride. That's the biggest black caiman I've ever caught. I didn't expect to get one that big, so I'm well pleased.
With new experience in handling full-size caiman, Mark heads for Apateri, a village with a big caiman problem. With the collapse of the local rubber industry 20 years ago, most of the people moved away, and those who stayed have no work. Mark has a mountain to climb in persuading them that the local caiman are an asset, not a threat. But he has an ally in Fred Alicott.
Fred.
Hi, Mark.
All right, it doesn't seem like 6 years since I was here in Apateri.
You've just done a windbreaker down there.
Hey, it's hot out there, yes.
Yeah, I know. This is the attraction.
A hunter-turned-conservationist, Fred is one of the most respected men in Guyana. He believes Apateri can become a center for ecotourism, with visitors paying to see the black caiman in the wild. But the villagers are skeptical, with good reason. Augustine Alfred lost an arm to a black caiman.
Is that Augustine Bowling?
Yeah.
He's the chap that lost his arm to a black caiman.
Yes, he was 9 at that time. I think he's 27 now.
27?
Yes, it's about 18 years ago that happened. He recovered and he's doing well in life. He can shoot with an arrow. He bites with his fish with an arrow.
He can shoot with an arrow.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have thought a bow and arrow was definitely a two-handed thing. Whoa.
You know that what happened to Augustine? It leaves a scar on his memory. And it would be very difficult for him, you know, to even though he seems to be okay, but it's in there, it's on his mind, you know, and he would always have that like hate and scare for those type of reptiles. However, I think with what you're going to be doing now, you know, it would enable them to understand the animal more. He was one of the unfortunate ones, so these things do happen in life.
Although you could say he was one of the fortunate ones, because I mean, he got away with his life, he lost his arm, he was given a second chance.
Huh?
He hit it on the hand
Oh, you get caught?
Yes.
Well, that's a game of cricket.
Mark tries to attract the black caiman by making the distress call of its young. He and Fred want to help Augustine overcome his fear by catching a black caiman and showing it to all the villagers.
Hey, on the camera. Look, there's one coming. It's a big one.
Mark's fishing net ploy is working.
He's just making sure that he's certain what is there. As soon as it gets a little darker, it comes.
With nightfall, black caiman are everywhere.
Let's see how many I can see from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
High
8.
excitement, but with so many caiman around, the reptile hunters cannot afford to
9,
fall overboard.
10, 11, 12, at least a dozen, baker's dozen. So let's go get one. He's on. He's on. The boy's on. Let's tie you out for a bit. And when he ties, we have to tie his tail.
Caiman thrash around after biting to dismember prey and take it underwater.
I think it's bigger than the one we got the other night.
A graze from those teeth takes a chunk out of Mark's boat.
You reckon this could be about 12 foot?
Yeah, perfect.
Right. Need to tie that up. Loop a noose around his tail. That's better than mine.
With the caiman secure, Mark and Fred head back to Apateri. Leaving the middle of the lake is probably a good idea.
I'm conscious of the fact that we've had a lot of kerfuffle here. There's been a lot of confusion, a lot of splashing, and there's at least another 13 sets of interested eyes out there that might be sneaking up on us while we're paying attention to this one.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to suddenly meet his big brother. I'd like the head in the shallow, but I'm going to take them out.
Can I pull the power on? This way, yeah.
This is the key moment for Mark. If he can get the villagers to appreciate this feared and hated creature, then maybe they will learn to coexist with it, even benefit from it as a tourist attraction, and the caiman will survive.
Need something to dry his head off so I can tape it. This is a big mouth. I'll take care of the head. Somebody else can have that. Keep that on. Okay, guys? Wait, we're going to untie that.
At almost 500 pounds, all hands are needed to keep the beast at bay. Everyone gets the chance to touch a black caiman for the first time, but Mark still has some convincing to do.
The human population is bearing the brunt of a siege from these animals, and quite obviously people don't want to live alongside something as big and as terrible and as deadly as this. Unfortunately, this region is the last stronghold for this caiman. A lot of American and European tourists when they come over here and they go birding and they go to Cator Falls and they do all the things they normally do. But the chance to go out and spot like Caiman and see big Caiman crews pass from the safety of a boat, I think would be quite an attraction. That said, you've still got to live alongside them, and that is where people sometimes have to alter their habits, because I don't think you'll get the Caiman altering their habits. Taking care when going down to the water's edge at night, always taking a torch, not dipping a hand in to scoop water or anything like that from either a boat or the bank without looking first. Certainly not stepping into water to wash without shining a torch and poking around with a stick, because these fellows, I mean, you could lose this, and this is a huge animal, you could lose it in 1.5 foot of water.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you could stand there up to your knees washing, and that could be under the surface.
Yeah. Especially children, small children from between 4 and 8 that goes to bed by themselves. They shouldn't allow them to go. Some adults should be with them to see that everything goes well.
As he intended, Mark has helped the villagers to see the creature in a new light, not as a threat, but as a possible source of income.
Well done, well done. Crocodiles, you could say, are the last of the ruling reptiles, and I'm very anxious that they be conserved, especially seeing as this is really their last stronghold in the whole of the Amazon. But I'm also mindful of the terrible problems that they've wrought on the river people.
For Mark, it's a job well done. One small step towards people and black caiman living side by side.
I'm hoping that the people in Apateri have a different outlook to the black caiman than the philosophy of let's just destroy all the big ones or let's just destroy them all.